Okay, Hip Hop United All Access. This is Brianna, and we're here live tonight with the one and only Drew B. How's it going?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. What's up?
No problem. Thank you for joining me tonight on the check-in. Now, you never sent me your picture for the flyer, but it's gonna be plenty more interviews.
Cool, cool. Yeah, got caught up in taking care of some business or whatnot. But yeah, we could definitely do that for sure.
Okay. Well, again, I do appreciate you for checking in. Introduce yourself to everybody.
And what's up, world? Here on the Hip Hop United platform. My name is Drew B. I'm a hip hop artist along as a songwriter as well. Been doing music for close to a decade now and ready to get shit popping.
Absolutely. Well, I'm definitely here to help you do that and get that popping. So let's get into it though. What inspired you to even get started in the music industry?
Honestly, I've always been the type of artist to listen to instrumental beats. Um, my mom is a writer, and even in school, I was always susceptible to English and reading and writing a lot. So whether it's just either doing paperwork or in regards to like writing an essay, yeah, yeah. Um, Sorry about that. Yeah, it's primarily it was just like just writing, reading and writing was always my main favorite subjects in school. English was a big thing for me, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I always thought I'd be in school to become a journalist someday, but actually just writing music came about in about it was like 2011, and a best friend of mine shared some instrumental hip hop beats for me, and I would just listen to instrumental beats. It was my older brother who actually was more susceptible to actually rap and maybe do something with music. I was kind of like the hype man for him because he's very conservative, but you know turn of events, it actually ended up being me.
Got you, got you. And so you just been on and popping ever since.
Yeah, I just been consistent with just writing content, just writing. And it was a producer locally where I am currently living in Plant City who actually introduced himself as a hip hop producer when I was in college. He shared some of his beat tape CDs back then. It's not streaming now, it was on CDs still.
Mm-hmm.
And he shared his instrumental CD with me. I listened to his beats and I was impressed.
Mm.
So what he did was actually introduce me to a friend of his in high school who had a recording studio in his home. Invited me and my older brother at the time. So we went to his studio. Actually he's now my barber, and we still keep a relationship with each other. And he actually welcomed us into his home. He had set up a home studio, and the producer actually, it was like my older brother that was gonna be rapping, but it was one beat that he asked me to get in the booth and to write something real quick and record it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always had the thought, I was like, oh, I'm not really a rap artist, but I gave it a shot anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the seven of us in the group, and including myself, that made seven. And they were just shocked after I stepped out of the booth after the 8 bars that I wrote. They're like, man, you a rap artist, bro. It's just like, you need to just keep doing this. So ever since then, I never actually stopped recording music.
Got you, got you. So now you said your mom is a writer. Who are some of the people that you looked up to as far as mainstream? Any influences?
Yes, most definitely. I'm really deep with lyrical content, so some of my favorite artists that embodies that type of content in their craft would be Kendrick Lamar, Lupe Fiasco, Common Sense. Some old school artists would be like Master Ace, Keith Murray for sure, Sadat X, Smith and Wesson. Um, definitely I would have to say Tupac Shakur and my favorite rapper Jay-Z. Like oh yeah, Biggie too. Biggie too. Um I definitely like those artists who actually sends a message through their content, and of course nowadays for like Drake and J. Cole, sending a message through their content for the masses is pretty much who I primarily listen to when it comes to conscious music.
Got you, got you. So now let me ask you this. Now, today's generation, like I know you mentioned the Drakes and that he's still relevant, of course. Common is still relevant. Jay-Z is still relevant. What about the millennials? The rising artists. Well, actually, the mainstream artists that are still, they're actually young, but they're actually, pretty much like taking over the industry. Who are you rocking with, like, as far as the millennials?
That's a great question, Brianna. And honestly, I want to definitely give a special shout out to Lil Baby on Quality Control. There was a record that he put out called The Bigger Picture. And when I heard this song, and I was like, it resonates so well with what's going on in regards of, police brutality. And, it's, bigger than black and white, as he said in his song. And in actuality, we all need to be in unison with each other and spread love and positivity, because the way it's going right now, especially with COVID-19, it's just like it's not the type of space in which we need to raise more hatred or racism. We all collectively need to be on one page and be in unison with one another, especially in the Black community.
Right, absolutely. Um, Now, let's get into that, being that you mentioned, the police brutality, the COVID, just what's going on in the world. Can we expect anything from you in regards to any type of music that relates to what's going on in the world right now?
That's a great question. I'm actually in the process of actually creating a record in regards to COVID-19 and, the era that we're in right now when it comes to these new protocols and these guidelines that people have to abide by when they're out and about amongst other people, shopping experiences and stuff like that. It definitely took a toll on me in regards to how I actually either converse with people now. Definitely actually have to be careful of, the company that I keep. You want to keep myself safe, of course, my loved ones safe, and utilizing this time, especially like quarantining, just being in my own space. I feel like me writing a new record as to what's going on now, sharing it with the people from my eyes and my perspective of what's going on overall. You can expect that from me pretty soon.
Got you, got you. All right. So, what are you currently pushing now? Let everybody know, like the music that you're pushing now. What's the single that you're rocking with right now? What are you promoting right now?
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of piecing together my third project entitled Language Arts Squared. It's a trilogy series with this EP. The last one I put out was entitled Language Arts. This one is squared, so you would probably assume like mathematical references in
Right.
regards to this project, but the only reason why I lean towards that title instead of like Language Arts 2 or Language Arts 3 is I just wanted something creative, a squared EP. You never heard of this before, so I thought, that would be like a nice marketing avenue just to come up with a unique name
Yeah.
for a project. So Language Arts Squared is the project I'm working on now. I want to give a special shout out to a female producer who is based in Atlanta named 911, and a song that I am actually in the process of piecing together is entitled Never Enough, which is produced by 911. And
Okay.
I'll be in the studio actually when we get off of our Zoom meeting today. I'll be in the studio tonight at midnight with Brian Tyson of Deep Productions. Been working with him for the past 7 years. As a multi-platinum producer based in Tampa, Florida, and definitely good people. Always take care of me when I'm in the studio. So definite shout out to Brian Tyson of Deep Productions.
Got you. So now with this new project that you're putting out with the producer in Atlanta, um, like what kind of vibes are you feeding to the listeners? What's the message in the music that you want people to receive?
Primarily in the content that you'll hear mostly is an array of both conscious music and more towards what's out now in regards of the young artists. Primarily with my production, it's leaning towards more like boom bap hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do have a versatile of sounds that'll actually be more towards the now today's audience in this younger generation of rap music, such as kind of like a trap drum type of catchy beat. I do have production like that on this next project. Primarily a special shout out to my composer, James Garrison Summers, who's actually did most of the production on this squared EP, and looking forward for a lot of people to expecting an array of creative, original flow of music. And this composition here is probably, to me, is most of my dearest work. I took time to lyrically um, share my emotions of what's going on nowadays, and also how I've been feeling for the past 2-3 years piecing this project together.
Mm, okay, okay. So when can we expect the final product? What are you leaning towards?
Great question. Honestly, with studio time booked tonight, I feel like I can actually have everything mixed and mastered, and have the masters in my hands of the songs within, I would say, within a month.
Mm,
But in regards to finalizing the project, in regards to putting a video out, that's all actually in the works within the next week or two,
mm-hmm.
and I'm really excited about that. It's going to be my first music video, and I'll definitely have a definite answer probably to finalize the squared EP before the end of this year's Gregorian year of 2020.
Got you, got you. So let me ask you this: with the visuals and stuff that you're thinking about doing, I know I kind you kind of gave me some hints. We were kind of talking about like just like your wardrobe, but like where are you trying to take it out there with these visuals? I know
You
we talked
know,
about the library. We talked about, you know, I'm just curious. What did you think about when our last conversation? As far as what kind of visuals you think you might want to do?
that's a great question, Brianna. From the last time we did spoke with each other, being that the title of the EP is entitled Language Arts, um, a library setting would be nice in regards of in relation to like books. Something when you think language arts, you would think some writing or something knowledgeable. Um, I was more leaning towards the actual theme of the video of what I was saying over 9/11's record, in regards to like creating like a storyline of how I wanted this woman in particular in my life, but I was never enough to appease her because she went with the other guy.
Mm,
And
okay.
so it's just like the storyline I'm creating is pretty much like, because I'm based here in Plant City, based on the Zoom meeting that we had with Mr. Hankey last weekend, kind of do something in regards of like a country setting of maybe being a cowboy and looking for the girl in the pasture that I'm looking for, but she just ended up being with this other stand-up cowboy
Mhm.
guy, you know?
Okay.
So
Okay. So
it's
you
kind
gonna
of like,
so it sound like you're gonna have a honey dip up in this video.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I got to utilize the resources of what I have here.
Okay.
Being that Plant City is very small. It's like I want the world to see that no matter where you come from, the smallest city of Plant City or the biggest city like LA or in New York, you can really do what you can if you set your mind and your energy to do something that you really love to do, and it'll happen.
Got you. Got you. Now you named your influences. Are any of those influenced artists? Any of them you would want to work with or collab with in the future?
Most definitely. I it's great that you asked that, Brianna, because old school artists in which I actually mentioned earlier, I actually been built a rapport with them in which they actually are featured on this Squared EP. I named the track, it's Show Me My Opponent New York Cypher. So have some special guest stuff that's on that record, which I'm really excited about as well. Ironically, one of the artists I did connect with on Instagram, built a rapport with them since 2014, and I'm excited for like my older audience to enjoy that cipher. And the younger artists that I mentioned earlier that I would love to work with most definitely would be Kendrick Lamar for sure. That's without a doubt. J. Cole, Lupe Fiasco, just to pick his brains of how, smooth he is with the penmanship, with his artistry. Definitely looking forward to that. And even the young artists of today's generation, like the baby, Lil Baby, their content of what they're sharing, it would be nice to be versatile. I don't want to say that most of my music would be geared towards just primarily boom bap conscious
Mm-hmm.
hip hop music. It's just like if you can reach an audience in any type of way, go with that avenue and express your creativity and be versatile.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, what else can we expect from you? We're approaching towards the end of the year. It's been an interesting 2020. I'm not gonna say it's all bad, but it's been an interesting 2020. What do
Right.
we expect going forward?
From Drew B, definitely expect me to be more active on Instagram, sharing my videos and more about my personal life, studio life, new content that I'm working on. I'm definitely going to get more active on the gram. Before I wasn't too much on Instagram or social media like that, but especially in this avenue of pursuing music and the era of technology we're in, people need to see your face, be on the internet, show out, um, be consistent with music, especially with loyal fans who continuously listen to what you have to share or what you have to offer. I have to be more consistent with putting more content for them to enjoy and to actually share and listen to. So more music and more repetition of actually being active on social media just to connect with my fans and new listeners as well. So definitely being more active on social media, and I am very excited of this Squared EP for this new release for people to hear this content and with your support, of course, Brianna, I am excited to partake on these new endeavors.
Absolutely. Well, again, the sky's the limit, and we definitely gonna get it started.
Most definitely. And if I may give another special shout out to how you and I connected and met with each other was through the platform in which you spoke on earlier today was the World Scout
Hmm.
Music Expo platform. We met back in February 2020 in
Hmm.
Orlando, and you scouted me from a song that I wrote about my older brother, and I auditioned for you. And I just want to say I appreciate what you're doing for me, and I appreciate your platform of Hip Hop United and all the avenues that you're creating for me to level up, as you always say, in
Definitely.
my career to get to the next level. And I appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. Listen, I'm gonna do what I said I'm gonna do. Keep introducing you to my connections, and it's only up from here.
Right, yeah. And you know, that my initial meeting, Zoom meeting with Mr. Hankey last week, special shout out to him. Definitely taking some of the gems that he shared with me in
Hmm.
order to actually execute and propel to win. That's the main objective is I'm ready to win and definitely do what it takes to get there. Work hard, stay consistent, and keep my creativity as an artist, as he suggested. But main goal is to, of course, win.
There it is. Leave everybody with your social media handles and how you can be reached.
Of course, on the Hip Hop United platform, you can follow Drew B on Instagram. Very simple. I am Drew B. All together, no spaces in between. Same as Facebook. I am Drew B on Facebook as well. And I'm looking forward to creating um, new content for you all, and for you to follow my journey alongside Brianna of Hip Hop United. And if you'd like to hear some of my old music before this EP, you can definitely check it out on SoundCloud, which is the same. I am Drew B as well.
Absolutely. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you as always. I do appreciate you for checking in and speaking to Hip Hop United.
I appreciate you for having me. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful weekend as well.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right.